All right, if you've played the Pokemon Trading Card Game at all recently, you already know there's one mechanic that's just completely reshaped the entire battlefield. I'm talking, of course, about Pokemon VSTAR. Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're cutting through the noise and distilling the exact rules governing these heavy hitters. We'll look at how they evolve, their very specific vulnerabilities, and, obviously, that massive game-changing power they bring to the table. Whether you're building your first competitive deck or honestly just trying to figure out how your opponent just completely wiped your board out of nowhere, you are absolutely in the right place. Let's just jump right into it.
So what exactly makes a VSTAR card a true game changer? Well, it really boils down to this incredible high-stakes dynamic of massive risk versus massive reward. The mechanics we're about to explore introduce abilities and attacks that are so impossibly potent they can literally flip the entire momentum of a match in a single turn. You know that feeling when you're completely losing and then suddenly, bam, the game is entirely back in your hands? That's VSTAR. But wielding this kind of power comes with some incredibly strict limitations and severe penalties if things don't go your way. It really is the ultimate test of tabletop strategy.
Okay, let's dive into this structurally. First up, you've got to understand that VSTAR is classified as a completely new evolutionary stage. This is absolutely key. These cards explicitly count as evolution cards. They don't just magically appear on your board out of thin air to save the day, right? So for example, if you want to play that devastating Charizard VSTAR, you've got to evolve it from a standard Charizard V first. It follows all the normal pacing and rules you already know for evolving your lineup. No skipping steps, you literally have to build up to that power.
Now, here's an incredibly critical nuance, and you really cannot forget this when you're planning your strategy. We just established that VSTAR is a brand new evolution stage, right? But fundamentally, they are still considered Pokemon V. What does that mean for you? Well, it means if your opponent plays a card, or maybe equips an item, like a choice belt for instance, that specifically deals extra damage to Pokemon V, your VSTAR is absolutely taking that extra hit. You do not get a free pass from those Pokemon V afflictions just because you evolved. That inherent vulnerability, yeah, it travels right along with you to this new stage.
And that brings us to the absolute climax of the card's life cycle, the VSTAR power. Listen, this isn't just some standard move you casually throw out to chip away at some HP. No, it is strictly defined as a game-changing ability or attack. Think of it as the ultimate weapon in your deck. Take Arceus VSTAR, for example. Its Starbirth ability lets you just search your entire deck for literally any 2 cards you want. I mean, that is pure, unadulterated control. When you bring a VSTAR to the table, deploying this specific power is very often your actual win condition. It's the heavy-hitting maneuver designed to completely and decisively alter the course of your match.
But okay, here's the catch, and honestly, it's a massive one. You can only use exactly one VSTAR power during the entire game. Period. I really want to emphasize this because it is the single most defining restriction of the whole mechanic. It really doesn't matter if you have 4 different VSTAR Pokemon lined up on your bench, practically begging to be unleashed. The absolute second you activate a VSTAR power from just one of them, you are permanently locked out of using any others for the rest of that match. So you've got to choose your moment wisely, because once it's gone, it is gone.
And this brilliantly illustrates the physical mechanic of it all, because you only get 1 shot per game. There's a very specific physical procedure you have to follow at the table just to track that limitation. Step 1. You officially declare your VSTAR power to your opponent. Pretty straightforward. Step 2. You take your special acrylic VSTAR marker and you physically flip it face down. It's this highly satisfying, totally irreversible physical action that serves as a permanent visual indicator to both players that, yep, your one ultimate power has been burned. It keeps everyone honest, for sure, but it also adds a really fantastic bit of tactical tension to the actual tabletop game. Okay, now we really need to shift our focus to the harsh, built-in penalty of playing these cards. If your Pokemon VSTAR gets knocked out, the rules clearly dictate that your opponent takes 2 prize cards. Let's just put that into perspective for a second. In a standard game, you only need 6 prize cards to win the whole thing. So losing 2 at once, that is a colossal swing. By playing a VSTAR, you are essentially painting a massive target right in the center of the board. Yes, the power they wield is absolutely immense, but if they fall, your opponent instantly claims a full third of their entire victory condition in just a single knockout.
So ultimately, this whole mechanic forces you to ask one core strategic question every single time you sit down to play. Is that ultimate VSTAR power actually worth the 2 prize card risk? Think about it. You've got a game-changing ability, it's limited to exactly 1 use, it requires a dedicated evolution setup, and it carries a really heavy penalty if it fails. It's a truly brilliant balancing act that makes every single decision count, and it keeps the competitive scene incredibly sharp.
Keep these mechanics in mind, weigh your risks, and let this explainer guide your strategy the next time you sit down to build your deck. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep analyzing those plays, and I'll see you on the next one.